It is the Riot Podcast. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hola.
Hola. How you doing?
Good.
Okay, good. So, hey, here's what you're going to hear in today's podcast. I forgot everything. And, I mean, if you listen, you might even hear me, like, not
Multiple
remembering
times.
what we're doing.
Yes,
like,
it's not just once.
It's bad. Like, I can't get a hold of it. I'm all messed up. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, you took your last antibiotic today, right?
I did.
So do you
think it's the antibiotics that are causing it? Like what? Like maybe I'm just being sick? I don't know.
I'm probably just being sick.
I'm having but it's not just here. Like
everywhere you're forgetting things?
Like we're in the middle of, I can be in the middle of a conversation and I completely forget. I start thinking about something else while the other person's talking.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh no, I can't remember what we're talking about. I hope they can't see on my face that I don't know what's happening.
Since you normally don't do that, I'm not worried like this is a thing. Instead, I think it's just whatever you're still dealing with sickness-wise. Which
it's weird.
Has been pretty in-depth.
It just won't go away.
Yeah, it won't all go away.
It lingers. All right, so today in the podcast, all that
He's
forgetfulness.
a lingerer.
We talk about how to become a celebrity. Ooh, you should go to our Facebook page and see what Jeff sent us, Amoxy Oreos.
If you don't follow us, we've got 2 Facebook pages. There's, of course, the Radio U Riot one. That's for our show.
Yes.
Just search Radio U Riot. And then the other one is our Radio U Facebook page. Make sure you like both of those.
The NORAD Santa Tracker's back. We talk about the Justice League Shuffle. It's the dance everybody's going to be doing. And let's see, Zelda, Nikki's Christmas Train Experience, and how we can ruin anything. YouTube remix, Santa College, just a lot here.
It's a good show.
Mm-hmm. So you guys enjoy the podcast?
We think we've forgotten.
Well, I can't remember what was in it. Wait, let me read the list to you again. It is the Riot.
That's why we have the list. Bye.
The Riot.
They hate me. They hate you. They hate us.
Why else would they make us listen to the worst of the Riot? Radio U.
You wake up every morning and you do some things on purpose. Like taking a shower. I do that on purpose. And you think a shower is important, but you know what? It's not that important. In reality, there's one thing every morning that I do on purpose that's very important.
And that would be?
Probably the most important. Okay, second most important. The most important is putting on pants. I'm just going to say clothes. Like all clothes. That's the most important. The second most important is making my coffee, which I did. I made this coffee. I put my brown sugar in it to perfection. And then I also grabbed my lunch, which I packed.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm a good person. Yeah.
That's well put together, right?
Yeah, I got it all together, set it out on the counter, and just walked out without it.
Both
just
of
left
them?
it. Yep, lunch and coffee.
Yay! Which means you're going to have that when you get home.
Hooray! I'm sure that my insulated mug will keep it warm all day.
Actually,
this is a chance for it. It's a real test for it.
To see.
Just how warm can it be 10 hours later?
If you go home and it is warm, that'll just be like a kick. Just kicking you while you're down. You're like, it stayed warm all day.
The whole time. Hooray!
Well, I am sorry to hear that you've left everything there.
Yeah, you know, and it's only that there's the whole rest of the day. And this was how I started my day. You're like, hey, you know, no, this is how I started it. Now, in fairness, it may be I did get up and exercise first. And I feel like if I have any disruption to my morning schedule at all in any way, everything falls apart. So I don't normally get up and exercise, but I felt like I really needed that today. Little boost. And so it's nice to see that some dark power in the universe has made sure that I evened out. So get up in the morning, feel like you're taking control of your day. Things are good. Things are strong. Let's take that coffee and lunch away. See how that works. So where you ran ahead, we're going to pull you right back.
Now you're even.
Even Steven, I believe they call you. So.
Well, you can fix this, okay? We've got coffee here.
I know. I've got to make coffee.
I think there's creamer, so you should be fine.
It's fine. Yeah, I'm fine. It's fine. No big deal. So,
all right. Well, I'm glad to see you were just accepting of it.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I can explain it to you exactly what happened. Okay, I got everything ready. I got my wallet, my keys to realize I didn't have my phone. Now, see, I left my phone upstairs in my bathroom, and I went to get my phone. And the reason I didn't bring my phone is because I went downstairs, and I've got a Google Chromecast music hooked up to the speaker. So instead of bringing my phone, I decided to bring my tablet. I use my tablet to cast the music. So the reason that because I didn't have my phone, I was like, oh no, I can't forget my phone. So I ran to get my phone and I was like, good, I'll forget my lunch and my coffee.
Which would you rather forget, your lunch and coffee or your phone?
I'd rather have my phone.
Okay, so then it's fine.
We can make coffee here, and believe it or not, there are roughly 300 restaurants within a 5-mile radius.
You're good.
My phone, I'm screwed.
Having a bad day? Blame the Riot. Everyone else does. And in fairness, it's probably their fault. Radio U.
Now, Obi's gone to the break room and back. You're faster than I thought you'd be, so is there something wrong in there? Or?
No, it's fine. I just also forgot my breakfast, so...
You need to make something then, too.
The good news is I left some bread here. I don't know why, and I almost threw it away yesterday, and I didn't. And so for all of you that feel like, you're so messy, throw your stuff away, it is the bread I didn't throw away that will feed me today.
Lesson learned.
So it's circumstances like these that reinforces my pack rat bad behavior.
Well, I think this one is the exception, so maybe we still should not have a lifestyle of that.
I'd like to see a showing of hands. Who wants to be famous? Anybody? Okay. Now, there are ways to be famous. You lose a lot of weight. You buy some Instagram followers. You move to L.A., all those kinds of things. But listen, if you're interested in being a low-level celebrity, like a celebrity where you are right now.
Entry level.
Just right where you are. Well, you have to start somewhere. Maybe don't start big. This is going to be a test run at being a celebrity. I have the answer to your problems right here. You just sign up for MoviePass. You're like, well, what do you mean? MoviePass is that thing, $10 a month. You're supposed to be able to go to a movie every day at participating theaters. Now, I say this makes you a celebrity because as soon as I mentioned on social media that I got it, man,
was everybody excited?
But you wouldn't believe how many people are private messaging me like, is it any good? Does it work? OMG, I heard about it. I'm curious about it. Now, and then I have had some of the most shockingly specific questions.
About it?
Yeah, it's like, well, if it's 11 p.m. and I show up and...
It crosses over midnight, it's the next day.
Exactly. Like if
what's a new day?
If I spoof my GPS, can I purchase it from the inside of the theater so that I could go to the 12:30 showing, even though I've already been? I'm just like, hey, guys.
He just bought it. He's not like he's not the know-all when it comes to it.
I signed up for it 2 days ago. I can't answer your questions. I have my own questions about how this is going to work, okay?
Why don't you just direct message yourself, okay?
I should, hey, have you gotten the card yet? How many days did it take to get the card? I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea. But I feel like it has somehow elevated...
Made you a celebrity?
Oh, it's elevated my status for sure, Nikki, because everybody wants to know how it's going. And the answer right now is... It's not.
I don't know.
I haven't yet received the card.
Give him a minute. At least now you have all these new friends that are coming out of the social media woodwork.
I know, which is why, again, I'm reiterating that if you guys also, and, it's like minor league celebrity. I wouldn't expect the maitre d' at the whatever to know my name. But, to some people, that's Obadiah. He has MoviePass. We should ask him our questions. Excuse me, over here. Can I get my picture taken with you? This is a picture of me with a guy that has a MoviePass. Now, do you have the pass on you? Can you get it out? Can you show it to me?
I mean, anyone can. It's not like they're saying no.
Well, the funny thing is, for me, is that I decided to take the plunge 2 days ago. So, I'm still really new to my status. Sure. But it's only $10. So at this point... What exactly has been the barrier to entry for me to not try it?
It feels like it was when not everybody could get one. You had to wait a while for it. Because you were then you got it, then you were special.
As I think back on it, it's like I've been to the movies multiple times over the last couple of months. Why didn't I just go ahead and buy that stupid thing? Well,
now, there you go, using the stupid
minimizing.
Word. Yeah, look at that. You're lashing back.
Yeah, you're right. So, again, minus celebrity status. It's out there. You can go the Instagram route, but there are other routes available. And you know what? You might become famous and you didn't even want to be famous. I do want to be famous. I want everyone to want to be me, okay? But I didn't think this is the thing that would do it.
Worst of the Riot, not enough? Not enough. Check the blog and all things Riot at riot.radiou.com.
Did you get it all out? It is the Riot. I sense like panic over there as you try to get all the peanut butter out of your mouth so you can talk now. Do you feel like you got enough?
Nothing's working today, guys.
And you're fine. It's going to be a great day.
Here we go. It is the Riot on Radio U. Feeling a bit whimsical because I'm excited about this new Christmas boutique gift item. Nikki, there's a company out there. They're called Let's Coal. That's LETSCOAL. And they will send you coal.
I feel like that's not anything terribly new. Like, there's companies like that before.
It's true, but boy, this one, they have a really nice package. They send you coal.
A nice presentation.
Yeah, you get a lump of coal, and you also get a pencil, which is great because if you think about it, a coal pencil. I guess they used to put coal in pencils. Now it's graphite. Now I don't even use a pencil, so I don't know.
So I don't need any of it.
So,
it is nice packaging. It's like a Tiffany blue box. Almost looks like a subscription box.
It does.
To your monthly coal.
You know what? And look, you come with Strike Anywhere matches. That's kind of nice. I feel like giving this to people. I have some people in my life that are like, just give me a gift card. It's fine.
What is wrong with that?
You know what? I wanted to get you something.
But here, I spent my money on this.
Here you go. I got you something really nice. I hope you enjoy it. And just straight up get them coal for Christmas. That's it.
Now,
coal.
If you're curious or worried, every lump of coal is 100% natural. No fillers.
Well, thank goodness. I wouldn't want any of those GMO coals.
It is safe and secure.
Nice. And look, it comes with a certificate of authenticity. As Nikki said, it comes in a nice box. I believe that is a bumper sticker there.
Looks like it. The matches, the pencil, and some. What
is that blue stuff?
It's not confetti, but you know when you open it up and it's like shredded streamers.
Yeah. It's decorative.
Something like that. Now, the website was originally a joke, so it was not real, but people were interested, so they're offering a one-time sale of the people. And the proceeds will go to the Natural Resources Defense Council.
Mm-hmm. And they say it's a 1-month trial offer. Sign up now. Yeah.
Great.
Get yourself some coal. I think they should do that. And you know what? I can think of a couple of people I'd like to send coal to. Not as a joke, but as a... You know what? Next year, come at me with something you actually want.
It's something different.
Yeah. So, whatever. I'm just going to give coal out every year. But it's nice coal.
You can usually find that at, like, the dollar store, I think. Or
not like this. Not in a nice Tiffany blue box.
With a pencil?
With a pencil and Strike Anywhere matches.
All right. Well, have a good attitude around Christmas then. You never know when you might get a nicely presented piece of coal.
Can you put... Okay, I don't know, but can you just put coal in the fireplace? You know how you can put you put wood there, you burn it, but
can you put coal?
Didn't they burn coal for heat? I mean, we still do. They burn coal for electricity.
I guess I don't know what the procedure is.
Okay. Well, we should look it up.
Because if you could, I'd be all dramatic and throw the box in the fire. If I got one, I'd be like, oh, yeah? Well, I'd take the bumper sticker and the pencil out, and the matches.
You wouldn't do that. You'd set that coal on your desk.
Would I? I don't like stuff or mess on my desk.
Nikki has a very Spartan living quarters, but she does have a little board where she can have a little fun.
Oh, my
little splashes.
A picture board?
But it stays inside the borders.
Okay, I could try to tape the coal to the board that I have on the wall where I can put some fun stuff up.
There you go. Okay.
Waking up with the Riot makes your nightmares not seem so bad. Actually, you might want to just go back to sleep. Radio U.
I haven't put it there yet. It's just on the Radio U Facebook page, but I really want you to check out the mock-up of the Oreos Nikki and I requested. Thank you, Jeff, for sending that in.
It's a new flavor idea, so he did the artwork for it, and I think it looks really nice.
We call them Amoxy Oreos, and he even gave it a little tagline there, the medicine you loved as a kid in a cookie.
Nice.
Man. How long has it been since you had a sip?
Of amoxicillin?
Yeah, it's like you almost want to go to a friend's house that has kids or maybe your nieces and nephews or whatever, and you're just when nobody's looking, you just want a sip.
Hey, that's a hidden shame if we do that. We don't need to tell anybody.
How hidden does it have to be?
Unless you're sick.
Hey, could we not be so hard?
No, not sick as in you're sick, but sick as in you are unwell. And then you want a little sip even though the dosage won't be enough to to do anything.
Listen to the sound of a friend that doesn't judge you right here. If you need to sneak in, get yourself a little
Take a drink
sip.
of someone else's medicine.
Someone breaks into CVS. They're not there for the controlled substances. They just roll out with a gallon jug of amoxicillin.
Man, that stuff tasted so nice, but I don't think you...
Why
what was
can't-
it, like 10 or 12 or something?
I
Or
don't know when it
maybe
stops.
even earlier than that.
When you're a fat kid, it stops sooner. Because they're
Why?
like, because your weight ratio, you got to get the adult medicine in you. So it's one of the many exciting things about eating a lot of Oreos as a child.
And then being able to no longer have this delicious, delicious medicine.
Pretty darn exciting when you think about it. But yeah, they're there. And okay, while we're on the subject, while we're just talking about the way medicine tastes, I've been drinking a lot of medicine lately. Someone
has been getting over I think you have like a hybrid cold sinus infection still.
Oh, wait, that reminds me, everybody. Let's take our last...
Antibiotic?
Oh, man, I probably left that at home, too. No, I got it. But, don't you guys think we could do a little better with cough medicine? Like, if amoxicillin tasted that good when we were a kid, why does, Alka-Seltzer taste so bad?
Well, I feel like amoxicillin was more like a milk-based style, creamy.
Well, let's get that.
And then you have cough medicine, which has nothing.
NyQuil chocolate milk.
And you want a soothing sensation when it comes to cough medicine, and the pink stuff's not going to do that.
Oh, Nikki.
That's more like Pepto.
Yeah, all right. Okay.
Seems like that'd be the adult equivalent.
Pepto? Pepto's not good, though, either. When's the last time you had Pepto? Because I got to tell you, I've been very sick this year. I'm doing a lot better. But,
You've had your own experience. But, if they
I've taken every over-the-counter medicine available to man this year.
He's quite proud.
Am I? I mean, it's just we're dealing in facts, okay? I've taken everything.
You could make
sleep aid, stomach aid, coughing aid, sinus aid, whatever.
It's been a long year, but you could make Pepto taste like amoxicillin. Whereas cough medicine, I feel like they want that soothing sensation because you're dying, you can't breathe. You just want your sinuses to open up, you're coughing. It's a different thing that you need.
Okay. Well, I hear what you're saying right there. I just feel like with all this science that we have, surely we can do a little better than that. And I even got the Alka-Seltzer citrus splash or something. I'll tell you what, it didn't taste like splash.
Let's see, Val texted, can you describe the medicine? I'm allergic, so I never remember tasting amoxicillin.
I can't.
Val, it was okay, close your eyes and remember when you were a kid and you were taking amoxicillin.
Why is it so hard to reach the table?
No, Mommy, I don't want a shot. Can they give me the liquid medicine?
Okay.
That sort of thing.
When is Turtles on?
Okay, it was very creamy and it wasn't like a cherry or a strawberry, but a mixture. It was like a melted down sucker, the blow pop sort of thing. Melted down.
It tasted like pink and dreams.
Yeah, it did. Before.
That's what it tastes like, Val.
Before school happened and then life happened.
They tore all your dreams away.
And then they told you, no, you can't have amoxicillin anymore. When you're sick, you need to have another thing.
Superman's not real. And there were unicorns, but we cut all their horns off and ground them down and sold them to people.
Now they're just horses.
Yeah, it's great.
Not even nice-looking ones.
Ugly horses.
That's the real world.
What are we talking about?
That's the real world.
The Worst of the Riot box set is now available nowhere because we know you wouldn't want it anyway. It's the Worst of the Riot on Radio U.
We have to kick somebody while they're down. We need to flog that dead horse one more time, and then maybe it'll finally get up.
Meaning?
We're talking about what's going on at Warner Brothers regarding the DC Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, I read the article yesterday about a reshuffle.
A little reshuffling of the deck.
Hey, things are maybe not going as they were planning before Justice League came out.
It's one of those things where you're like, okay, you're under contract. We can't fire you, but we can move you. And so
it's like you're no longer in the major leagues, but now you're being moved to a farm team or something.
So we gave you a $300 million movie. Things didn't work out. What do you think about a small indie film? The kind that gets a limited release.
A Netflix movie.
Something like that. We feel like that you'll do well there.
Tell me if I got it wrong, but it seems like people are very unhappy that they keep giving stuff to Zack Snyder.
Well, that's a complicated one. But yes.
I don't know if it seems complicated at that point, but they feel like he's maybe made some mistakes in the last couple, and it seems to be his fault.
Yeah, I mean, they're being very delicate with that because he has had a very serious personal tragedy recently. And
he's had some good movies. I mean, he has.
He had like one or two. Something, I don't know. You can't deny that he makes visually striking films.
Stunning.
So there's that.
Then the other part of the article was mostly about Ben Affleck.
Yeah, well, the word is... Okay, is that confirmed or not?
The word seemed to be that he'd be out as Batman.
Out. Yeah, which, you know what? After Justice League, and this doesn't sound very nice, but I felt like Ben Affleck just seemed bored the whole time he was Batman.
Well, they kept saying, too, during the press, for Justice League, he didn't help because he was a mess, and it was a mess, and it just didn't seem to go very well.
Before he was doing press for Justice League, when he was doing press for his movie that came out last year, people kept asking him about Batman, and he was mad about it. Like, he did not want to talk about Batman. So, and you guys remember Sad Affleck, right? Do you guys remember?
Can't forget that.
If you haven't seen Sad Affleck, you need to go ahead and Google
I feel like at least, the Batman change might be a good one. Sometimes it's time for a refresher.
I'll say this, and I've said it more than once, but Ben Affleck as Batman in Batman v Superman is one of my favorite things about that movie. In a movie that overall I didn't like very well, Ben Affleck was fantastic, and so was Gal Gadot. And quite frankly, Henry Cavill's a great Superman, but he had a bad script. Okay?
Sure. Now we're getting to the heart. Now we're getting to the heart of it.
Okay, but the other thing they're doing is, yes, no more Zack Snyder, but they're also saying that they're shuffling the executive team. So the people that are actually kind of up front making the decisions, they're like,
to make Zack Snyder and Ben Affleck, those people.
We're going to move you around a little bit. We're going to shuffle the chairs. And so, I mean, it to me brings into question. They don't say that they're canceling anything, but it makes me wonder what they're going to do next because Aquaman is already... The principal photography on that is done. They're definitely doing Wonder Woman 2. They moved the date for it, but they'd be dumb not to follow that up. But, I mean, Joss Whedon said that he's coming in. He did the Justice League thing, but they were going to let him do a Batgirl movie, which I think could be a great movie.
Just
there's a lot of potential there.
The strength does not lie in the script writing. So I feel like they just came up with a better writing team, something a bit more creative.
I agree with you.
So that might be a good step. And maybe what they're saying is the executives have been choosing the wrong team. So that's why they got to move.
I would also like to recommend to them, I want them to get a calendar of when Marvel's movies are coming out and put at least 3 months between your movie and the next Marvel movie.
Pick a time where there's nothing else out there, and that's the big movie.
I still say Thor Ragnarok, which was... insane and hilarious, and it was a movie that looked, if you really look at it, it's like, this is the weirdest looking movie, and it's amazing. Then you take the Justice League, and
they were trying to keep it closer to Wonder Woman because that did well. So I feel like they were hoping that because of the success of Wonder Woman, it was going to be a success for Justice League when it's not.
Yeah. It had the same problem that Wonder Woman had. Bad villain. They got a bad villain problem. Well,
not like he's bad, but like again, script writing,
not good
in costume and like look and style.
Justice League was about a man ram. I didn't like him.
The Riot's future, 2 words: Goat Farm. Radio U.
Right now, the federal government is watching you. Well, you knew that. You bought an Echo. You put it in your house so they could just listen to everything you say. I'm sorry, Google Home. I'm sorry, a cell phone.
All of it.
I'm sorry, just a phone. Like, the government's listening all the time.
Actually, just in the air.
Remember that scene in The Dark Knight Returns? No, Rises? When he's like, hey, I can listen to every conversation in Gotham. That's what the government does. But, they sometimes have a little hard time reaching the North Pole with all their technology. So they just went ahead and got out there doing a little saber rattling, the U.S. government. They're like, hey, Santa, we're watching you. We are watching you, Santa. At least that's what NORAD said. They've already got their real-time tracking goodies up. You can see their website to see just what the heck is Santa doing?
To see where he's at.
Right now. Where is Santa?
I assume he's at home.
He is. If you check, he's at home right now.
That's like when you refresh, you're trying to find where your friend's at or something, and you're looking on your phone like, where'd they go?
Hey, how come you turned off Track Your iPad?
Yeah, it's like, why can't I see your phone anymore?
I need to know where you're at. So I'm looking at NORAD Santa Tracker. Admittedly, it's pretty good. They got some good stuff here. They got some stats that I didn't see on the Google Santa Tracker, which I actually love Google Santa Tracker. It's great. But they think Santa's first flight was probably December 24th, 343 AD. That's what they're thinking. He's based in the North Pole. They say his weight at takeoff is about 75,000 GD, which is gumdrops. That's how they weigh in the North Pole.
I was like, what is that?
It bothers me that their passenger weight at takeoff, they estimate that Santa weighs 260 pounds.
That's not for us to judge.
I feel like that's rough because I know someone else that weighs about 260 pounds, and I don't feel like he looks exactly like Santa. Okay?
Do you have Santa measurements?
Could you give me a height on this guy?
Yeah, you want to make... Well, I'm sure you're taller.
Yeah, I don't know, Nikki. It's feeling like maybe not. Well, I just love the fact that they're just like, how much does fat weigh? Fat weighs about this much.
Well, that's not fair, too. Before you go run any race, what do you do before you do a race?
Eat a lot of spaghetti?
You carb load.
Oh, so he's carb loading right now?
He's got a big job. His is a marathon that he's doing.
I've been carb loading. I've been really...
Well, this show has to run on something.
Got to run on something.
It's
Nikki.
A lot of power.
Let's see. They estimate about 60,000 tons for the gifts, like what they weigh. And they say, what? That's hilarious. Passenger weight at landing, 1,260 pounds. They say that over the course of the night, Santa begins to weigh more as he's eating cookies at every single house in the world. And then they say that it's got a 9 RP engine. That's reindeer power.
Aw, cute.
So you can track Santa.
I love Christmas.
I always love every year. If you've never read it, you should take some time and read how NORAD began Santa tracking. And it comes down to a misprinted ad, like Sears ad, where kids could call Santa. And this was in Colorado. And they ended up giving the number for NORAD instead of the Sears number. And so all these kids kept calling to see, like, hey, where's Santa? And the dude that answered the phone, Colonel Harry Shoup, instead of being like, kids, don't call here, the government's coming for you, he just started telling the kids where Santa was.
Isn't that nice? You can be nice, and then now you keep going, and they still do the thing.
It is kind of a neat thing to think that back in 1955, one guy who was nice to a bunch of kids on the phone turned into kind of like this thing, and that's cool. So I guess what Nikki and I are saying is today you could start a nice tradition.
Or let's just start trying being nice.
Oh, yeah. Why don't we start by...
Baby steps.
Okay. All right. Like one thing.
One thing today. All right? All we have to do is just be nice one time.
One thing.
You don't have to apologize unless you've done something wrong.
Well, I'm sorry. I can't even think straight right now.
This is the worst of the riot. We're very, very sorry.
Last night was a big night for Nikki, and she's been waiting almost an entire year for her friends to return to Amazon.
I was so excited. So the Grand Tour used to be Top Gear. I love Top Gear so much.
So much.
The Grand Tour came out around, it was right before Thanksgiving last year. And they would come out with an episode every week.
Yep.
Just not very long. Neither was Top Gear. A season would not last long.
Well, did you say it was like 8 episodes, I think?
I think
might have been 7 or 8.
I think around that. So, you just get a little bit, and then you'd have to wait quite a long time for the next one. And so now season two, they say starts on like today, but it's a worldwide release show. So because there's other countries that hit Friday before we do, when you're in the United States, you can watch Top Gear, or not Top Gear, but the Grand Tour on Thursday. So even though they say, oh, it's out today, I watched it yesterday.
Okay.
It was really good.
Was it?
They fixed some things.
Really?
They fixed some of the stupid things that we did not. And actually, they specifically referenced that everybody complained about some of those things.
Some of their running jokes. It's one of those things that
lame.
They committed to them very early in the season and just kept doing them.
Yeah.
And, of course, you don't get an audience reaction to that. And when
you're filming within a small window, then it doesn't seem as annoying to you because it's not breaking it apart like when someone's watching it.
Yeah, you've made that joke over a week, and we've listened to that joke for 8 weeks.
And we're no longer wanting to. Mostly people complained about their celebrity interview segment because there would never be a celebrity for the interview, and they would always have a joke with it, but people wanted to see an interview with a celebrity, the actual thing. So they changed that up, and they're now doing, this is not a spoiler because you'll find out, but they're now doing the racing track like they did with Top Gear.
So like your star in a reasonably priced car, which is what they used to call it.
Yes, but for legal reasons, since that's not their show anymore, they take two people and put them together and they're racing. And so that makes it not like what they did on Top Gear.
That's interesting.
So that's the workaround.
Okay.
But it was nice to have that back. I even felt some of the camera angles were back to the Top Gear way.
It just looked better.
So the Grand Tour felt more like I was watching Top Gear, which I was most excited about.
I'm watching that tonight.
You should. You'll like it a lot.
I completely forgot about it last night. I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2, Nikki.
It's okay.
It's kind of what I've been doing.
I mean, we all
play
have
some
things.
Christmas music, watch some Destiny 2.
And I didn't know it would come so soon, but they cover, last night was the episode with Richard Hammond when he had his other accident.
Okay.
Because he crashed $1 million hybrid supercar.
Oh my gosh.
And I didn't know that was the expensive one, but it burns.
So that's
down.
in last night's episode?
That is the one that's in the episode.
Okay.
So you'll see it at the end.
Okay. Well, cool. Like, I'm looking forward to checking it out. So that's Amazon Prime only, right?
I was just so excited. I mean, I loved Top Gear, and I used to always watch, and it was just always a thing, and now I can have the thing back again for season 2.
Yes.
Very excited.
Cool. Well, I'll look forward to checking that out, this weekend. I got some free time this weekend, Nikki. So I'm doing that, and I'm going to watch one of my favorite Christmas movies, Christmas with the Cranks. Nobody likes it, but I love it.
I think it's good.
Nobody likes it.
It streams everywhere, so it's not like you're putting any other money into it.
That's exactly true.
The Riots Turn It Down and rip the knob off. Radio U.
I'll tell you what Nikki and I have been doing off air. We have just been planning all the movies that we're that we say we're going to watch this weekend, and we never will.
I don't know. I'm busy this weekend.
What are you doing?
I'm going on a train ride tomorrow.
That's right. You're doing a Christmas train.
I'm going on a Christmas train. I've never done that before, so I'm doing that tomorrow. It takes like an hour and a half to drive there, and I've been not liking that part.
You know what I hope? I hope you have like a Hallmark Christmas train experience. Of course, the only problem is that you're happily married. But let's pretend you're not.
You mean like I meet a stranger at the train station?
You and Eric dated in high school, but for reasons, you decided to move to the big city, but Eric ended up becoming a train conductor.
Something like that.
Eric ended up, he's a filmmaker, he's a video guy, so like he is actually filming a documentary on the Christmas train, and then lo and behold, Nikki walks back into his life after all these years. He's about to get married, but then he realizes by the end of this 90-minute train ride
that'd be a Christmas
that
train.
He's actually in love with Nikki the whole time.
No, really what it'd be is he's doing a documentary about the trains, and he wants to interview, like, say, my grandmother or something who was first on that train. And so then I find, and we meet each other, and that's the movie.
The grandmother tells a story about how she fell in love on the train.
And he met her up in Delaware in
1937.
She was wearing red lipstick.
Very pretty dress.
Yeah, so that might, if not, it's just going to be a nice train ride. That's also what I'm expecting.
So you're telling me that you're going out into the world and doing something instead of watching Guardians of the Galaxy on Netflix?
I know, and now I really just want to stay home and just watch that, but I already bought the tickets.
I just want you to know that if you had this weekend planned to stay home and watch Guardians of the Galaxy, you would be like, why is this all we ever do?
Why can't I go on a train?
We never go out anywhere fun and do anything interesting. Just sitting around watching crap on Netflix.
First off, I don't sound like that when I start talking.
Well, Nikki, that was me.
You're projecting as it.
Being you, being me, being you at home.
And then Sunday I have a family Christmas party, so I'm going to have to work around all of that and
Is
try
that
to
the
get
Christmas party you go to and end up with a polar bear gift?
No.
It's a different one?
That's a long time ago.
No, it's gift cards.
Quiet.
What?
Quiet.
What?
Quiet. So,
hey, listen, Nikki and I have been together for enough Christmases that I can track her Christmas parties across the progression of the month based on the gifts that she gets. So I know which group of people she's getting together with on which weekend.
I'm having a Christmas party. So that's Sunday. So there should be a busy weekend.
It is going to be busy. So how are you going to make time for all the streaming stuff to watch?
I don't know. Is it rude if I'm on the Santa Christmas train?
Get your phone out. Oh my gosh, dude! I paid $100 to take this 90-minute ride, but I'm still watching Netflix the whole time.
Okay, is that fine?
Do you get hot chocolate? Is it like the Polar Express?
I think you do.
Are they going to sing while they serve it to you?
I've never been. I've been on one train ride I took one from Whistler, Canada to Vancouver. And they had a proper...
Is that far away? I don't know. I mean, I know where Whistler is.
It was a couple hours, and it had a bubble dome so you could look outside at all the mountains and stuff. And they did a proper tea ceremony thing with...
Was it a Japanese train? Or?
No, tea food and tea.
Crumpets?
Yeah, that sort of stuff. And a clotted cream and all that weird stuff.
That sounds disgusting.
With a jam. So I don't know.
That's not so bad.
I don't know what we'll get. Probably
gingerbread cookie.
Couple cookies out of a bag thrown at me.
Shut up and enjoy the scenery.
Sit down. Just get yelled at.
Sit down. Miss, sit down. Miss, sit down. Sit down.
You're not getting a cookie unless you sit down. And I'm sitting down the whole time. So I'm busy.
Well, the exciting thing is that it's a 2-hour car ride?
An hour and a half there and an hour and a half back.
Hour and a half on the train and then an hour and a half back. So that's
I'm hoping that I don't know how long the train ride is.
Oh, I thought you were saying. So the train ride's probably about 15 minutes.
For the money, I hope it's a little longer. It should be nice.
What I love is that anything that sounds fun, all you got to do is tell us about it, and we can come up with all the reasons you're going to hate your really good time. Don't you worry about it.
We'll ruin everything.
Give us your vacation, and we'll give you a reason not to like it.
What if they pull over and they rob the Christmas coach, the Christmas train?
You know what, Nikki? That's another movie.
That could be another one.
We could do Die Hard 6, and this time it's on a train.
And then we have to save the train.
It'll be a lot like Under Siege 2, but it's Die Hard this time. If you see Bruce Willis on this train, what I'm saying is you should stay on it.
I don't want to go anymore on the train ride.
I don't want to go on the train, Mommy!
I just want to stay. I want to nap. I can sleep on the train ride.
Sleep in the car and then enjoy the train ride.
I have to drive there.
You're hearing it for the first time, and it sounds terrible.
It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
So we talked about Nikki's excitement over seeing the new, I keep wanting to say Top Gear, help me.
The Grand Tour.
Grand Tour last night, but that's not the only thing that hit streaming yesterday. Last night was the Video Game Awards. Don't know if you're familiar. They've taken a couple of different faces over the years, but last night it was streaming only as far as I understand. And let's just cut to the important part, okay? Game of the Year, The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, not surprised.
It also won, Best Director, I think, for the year. And Super Mario Odyssey won Best Family Game. That's you, Nikki.
Oh, yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
Right there. Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. I will tell you.
I love the game.
I keep saying that Nikki and I should do an end of the year list, which sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. But I think that it would be hard for me to not pick The Legend of Zelda. Not only is it the best game, but maybe the best piece of entertainment of the entire year.
The whole year?
I just don't feel like I've ever played anything that's been so rewarding, so fun, and you're able to play. It feels like a game I can play for 15 minutes or for 15 hours, and I took my Switch everywhere.
Just to play it.
I took it places where they're like, you're an adult, grow up. And I'm like, you shut up.
That's how Eric is, because he's going through Zelda.
That's right, he's playing it right now.
Oh my gosh, he would play it all the time, and it's just hours later. It's like, no, I'm still playing it, and it still is compelling.
Oh, it's so good. And here's the beautiful thing. I got the expansion pass and the new DLC, which is a story-based DLC. It's out now. They basically announced at the Game Awards last night, hey, the second part of our Zelda DLC pack is out now. It's called the Champions. Oh, boy, I just lost it. The Champions Ballad. And it's a big new story section to the game. It's got a new dungeon. It looks like Link might get a motorcycle. I don't know what that's about, but I'm going to figure it out because that's something that's got to happen. I'm going to have to fire up Zelda, get that downloaded, and get back to playing right away. Right away.
You really do have a lot this weekend.
Though I will tell you, among my roommates, we have a Switch, and I have been lenient with them and allowed them to do much playing, but it seems as if I may need to put my foot down and at the very least institute the sharing policy, which means setting a clock and passing it back and forth.
So anything else big win at the Game Awards?
You know what? Let's talk less about, well, okay, sure, I'll tell you. Let's see, Game of the Year and Best Game Direction, Zelda. Best Narrative went to What Remains of Edith Finch. I thought that was older than that. Best Art Direction went to Cuphead, which is an amazing looking game. Best Score to Nier Automata. I hope I'm saying that right. Best Audio Design and Best Performance and Games for Impact went to Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I think I'm going to pick that up on Steam at the end of the year because I've been really curious about that. Best Ongoing Game went to Overwatch. Best VR Game went to Resident Evil 7. Action Game was Wolfenstein 2, and Action Adventure went to Zelda again. So it's kind of a long list, and, end of the year list, that's really just something for us to argue about. But I'll have to tell you, I will accept no argument.
With Zelda.
I don't care how much you love PUBG. It doesn't stand up against Zelda. It just doesn't, okay?
It's the worst of the riot, because calling it the best of the riot would be a lie. Radio U.
Everybody's got their thing. One of the things that I deal with, especially this time of year, but it pops up at other times, is depression. It's just part of being me. It's just one of them things, right? And, you read up about it, you take a look at it. But here's something that I noticed from a lot of people that I see depressed people is like, hey, you don't know how I feel. Wait for it. Nobody knows how I feel.
Sure.
So therefore, nobody can help me. Now, I understand how frustrating it can be, and let's face it, this doesn't just apply to depression. It applies to a lot of things. Maybe maybe just day-to-day life. You don't know how I feel. You don't know what my life's like. You can't help me. We've all encountered somebody that is trying to help, and they are just saying all the wrong things. And a lot of the things that they're saying make you mad. And I get that.
That can make it worse.
I get that, and I've been there too, and I understand how frustrating that is. Sometimes, even though we're hurting, we just have to cut people some slack, understand that they're trying to help, even though they're being the opposite of, and move on. But here's what I want you to know, is that thing that you say to yourself, that nobody knows how I feel, nobody's been where I've been, nobody can help me, that's not true. That's actually your heart, that cry of your heart. It's wrong. Sorry. Hate to tell you that, but it's possible for you to feel a way that is not true. So when you feel like nobody can help you and nobody knows where you're at, you're wrong. There are people that can help you, and you should reach out. And I understand that maybe you've had bad experiences reaching out in the past, but I want you to reach out to two places today. This morning, right now, where you're at, you can reach out to God and ask for help. Jesus says that he is life. He says that he is light. So you feel like you're in the dark. Jesus literally wants to bring his light into your life. You feel like you have no reason to live and no life left. Jesus wants to come and bring life, his life, into your life and give you something. And that's been the big one for me. But the other thing is that I'll bet that there are some people in your life that you could, maybe not in a group, but one-on-one, take aside and say, hey, I need to talk. And, if you don't have somebody like that you can trust, look around. There are organizations and people that you can talk to. And it's not just, again, I'm not just talking about depression. I'm just talking about life in general at this point. But where I hear it the most is when people say, as they talk about that. But look, I just don't want you to be alone. And I want you to know that there's plenty of life left for you, and there's help where you need it. Just ask. Nobody likes to ask for help, maybe. But you know what? Do it. Right now, say, Jesus, I want that. I feel like I'm in the dark. I feel like I have no life, and I need you to bring light and life to me. Come into my life. Fill me with your spirit. Help me. I want to have a relationship with you. Stick around. And God will do that. He is there with you right now. You are not alone. And again, do the other thing too. Reach out to some people today. Find someone that you feel like you can trust and talk to them about what's going on.
The part that keeps me up at night, we paid them for this. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
I would like to introduce to you something that I don't feel like I completely understand. They have announced that YouTube is going to be launching a Spotify rival music service.
But I thought that was what YouTube's music service through YouTube Red was.
That's
what we thought too.
Nikki, step right up and claim your prize.
Yay! say we're both curious about it. Maybe they're going to separate that even more and try to rebrand it or something. Mm-hmm. Could be.
The service will be called Remix. So you'll have YouTube Remix, and they say that it will be similar to Spotify and Apple. Now, again, I'd like to raise my hand. I currently have YouTube Red, which means I have Google Play Music. So,
don't question it. Let's just see what they do.
The only thing that I see about this that makes a lot of sense is that, okay, Google Play Music probably not installed on your phone or, wait for it, your Apple device. But I'll bet you've got YouTube installed. And so the idea that, hey, you've already got YouTube, you love YouTube, I already have it on my phone, and you're constantly pulling up YouTube to watch videos. Well, every time you pull up YouTube, what if we suggest our music service to you?
And so they can push it that way.
It seems like Google taking advantage of probably their most, say their most consumer-friendly platform. It's the one that, like, all ages, across all demographics, everybody watches YouTube at some point. So that's a chance for them to capitalize on all those YouTube peoples and try to get them to sign up for their music service. What I want to know is if I have YouTube Red and Google Play Music, am I going to have Remix? Because if you're telling me that that's a whole other thing, I'm going to tell you I'm not very happy about it.
I guess we'll have to wait and see. Remix, though, is a term they use for some of their other stuff.
Really?
So I feel like they're maybe trying to build a brand out of a name for some of the other YouTube stuff.
Mm-hmm. So the one thing that it does say is that in this article is that Google just doesn't do well with its paid services.
Sure.
So, like, people don't pay for Google Play, and a lot of people don't even buy YouTube Red. And so they're hoping that this will be kind of what I talked about. Like, hey, you already love YouTube. What if you could have YouTube ad-free and all your music and not drop Apple or drop Spotify?
Yeah, which is what they were offering already.
It is,
but
now it'll have a new name.
A new name. Like, if there's such a stigma attached to something else, they have to shake it up. So, yeah, like a rebranding of some sorts.
Well, I'll tell you, I paid for Spotify. I've had it for probably 4 or 5 years. I don't know, however long I've had Spotify. Long enough for me to think I've had it my whole life.
Yeah, it's not quite Netflix, but it's there.
It just seems like it's always been there. Well, now, when it came time and I was thinking about switching from Spotify to Google Play, because, again, I get YouTube Red, I get the music, like all that stuff. It was not an easy choice. I was just like,
well, at first,
I don't know.
It's very weird when you switch services. Like when I switched from Spotify to Apple Music, the layout's different. You're like, I'm never going to find the music I like. You were comfortable with the format and how things were suggested to you, and you eventually get over it. You get used to it.
I will say, as a Google Play payer, I still liked Spotify's layout better.
Sure.
And I can't decide if it was better or I was just so used to it that, Though, all of that being said, I have started using YouTube and I never thought I would do this. I heard other people say they did it. I'm like, why do you do that? But I have started using YouTube, like, for instrumental Christmas music. There are a couple of albums that are not on any streaming service from the Canadian Brass.
If you want him to be specific.
It's a brass quintet, and I love their music. And the ones that I really like apparently are old. I didn't know that, and like they're nowhere. And so I've been listening to music on YouTube. That's been my thing. So,
it happens every so often.
Yeah. Between that, I'm all in the Google ecosystem. I got the Chromecast, the Viscast. I'm doing all the casting. So there you go. YouTube thinks that it has the solution to your music needs coming this March. We'll see.
Want to know what the Riot is doing right now? Follow them on Instagram and Twitter at riot.radiou.com. It's the worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Oh, sure. You've been to the mall and you've thought to yourself, you know what? That mall Santa, he is just the most low-rent guy they could find. Just bring him in here off the street. You got a beard, be Santa! Fine! But I'm here to tell you that that's not necessarily the truth, Nikki. Some Santas have been to Santa College.
And is that like clown college, but with Santa stuff?
Well, kind of. This is about a very particular company that supplies Santas. They're called Noair Programs Corporation, and they literally will provide you with a Santa. But they take those Santas to Santa College, and they learn the rules, how how to be a better Santa, and all that kind of stuff. It's 4 days of training that they go through.
I don't think that's a bad thing, though. You want the Santa to be a proper one. Make sure he does a good job.
Checked out.
Yeah.
And they say that a lot of these guys make a 5-figure salary from Black Friday through Christmas.
That's worth growing your beard out for.
I will say, if you were offering me $10,000 to do a month of work.
Oh, yeah. If anybody ever said you look kind of like Santa, even if it's a young one,
contact these guys.
You should go ahead and start working on that because you could make a lot of money then.
So here are a couple things to keep in mind. Some of the rules that they learn at Santa College. Rule number 1, and they say this is the absolute biggest rule. Like, there's a reason that it's rule number 1. You always stay in character.
That's important.
You are always Santa, no matter what. I feel like that's something we tell our people.
Like if you've ever gone to a theme park and you've seen a character in costume, and then you happen to catch them one time almost out of the park. Like
Cinderella's leaning against the wall smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, like it ruins the image, especially for the little ones.
Well, Santa is to always be Santa.
In character, especially since they always look like Santa.
Number 2, they always learn where the secret bathrooms are at the mall. So one of the things that they will teach you is, like, there are bathrooms that are tucked away, and that's where Santa
like the employee ones, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So they also have a way that they will teach you to secretly swap out for your other Santa. So, for example, like Santa might have a break, like from 12 to 1, Santa won't be here. But in reality, a lot of places, these high-end Santas, they have a way that they exchange Santas without anybody knowing about it. And by the way, it's a secret.
It's a tag team.
Also, if you hire this particular...
like with wrestling, you're
that's
like...
That's right. Tag out. They say that they will teach you, or one of the things they learn is proper grooming of your beard and how to properly bleach your beard, eyebrows, and hair. Because Santa's not gray.
He's not wearing, though, a wig or a beard thing?
No, it's real.
It's real?
Yeah, it's not a fake beard. They also, if you hire a Santa through this company, they say that Santa automatically gets a bodyguard. Santa will never be seen anywhere in the mall alone. Ooh. There will always be a person with Santa.
Safety first.
Yep, for Santa and for
for the young
other
one.
people too. So,
well, it seems nice. I mean, you want to get a legitimate one that's got some school backing.
I don't feel like any of the Santas that I've seen, any of the places I've gone, have hired these Santas.
Oh, no, really?
I feel
you
like...
can tell a difference.
I feel like a lot of them are like, you know what, I don't know.
A volunteer thing.
Did you see that guy behind the mall on our way in? He'll do. Just bring him in.
I walked into one of the, a Santa exhibit, and it was at the mall the other day, and they were just right in the middle, so you kind of have to walk around it.
Yeah.
And the guy I saw checking people in looked more just like a Santa than the actual Santa. Like, he wasn't wearing the outfit, but he had a beard. He was kind of round. His cheeks were kind of rosy. Like, it was like Santa. And you're like, wait, you're just checking people in.
Wait. Are you telling me that, like, Santa's picking up more hours by being the check-in guy?
Yes, I actually thought, like, you must be Santa when the other guy's not here, aren't you?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not old enough for this yet, but I feel like when the time comes, it sounds like this could be a great way to make a little extra cash.
To make that money, that's not bad.
I want to go to Santa College.
The worst of the riot is over, but the fun can keep going.
Hey, I saw you checking out my goods.
Check the Riot blog or stalk us on social media.
You want to sample them? A little try before you buy, huh?
Through riot.radiou.com.
This is why all the other morning shows go away and we stay together.
Because we're carrot buddies.
We're